Okay, it's recording.
Okay, yep, thank you. All right, I want to call the February 1st, 2021 special meeting of the Electrical Work Board to order. And I'd like to take attendance for everybody that's here. Call your name, please indicate that you're here. Peter Jennings,
Here.
Rich Bird,
Here.
John Yusa, apparently absent. Paul Costello,
Here.
Chris Brown, apparently absent, and Jacqueline Larrabee.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, so we do have a quorum for the meeting. Okay, do we don't have anybody joining us for comments and concerns or on any other subjects, which would only be this one anyway, because it's a special meeting. And we can only conduct business relative to today's agenda. Today's business is to consideration of addressing executive orders regarding deadlines to obtain continued education in classroom and online offerings by approved schools. I think everybody's aware that the governor has extended the extended the public health and civil preparedness emergency until April 20th of this year. With that being said, the previous executive orders had concluded or would conclude and end on February 9th, which was the original date for the executive orders to be, the state of emergency to be ending. The way I look at it is we have two situations here. We have the 2020 continued education renewal curriculums that people have to address, and we have the 2021. As far as the 2020 goes, Mr. Hurlburt was kind enough to forward, I believe everybody has received a copy of his email in that there was a total of 13,339 licenses issued as of 1/27, January 27th this year. And of those, 10,640 have taken continued ed according to the report from PSI. Based on those numbers, that means there's 2,699 that have not taken it, or 20%. Okay. Now, we still need to subtract from that. We don't have that number, the number of people that were licensed this year, just in 2020, because they wouldn't have to take it the first year. All that being said, it's still a big number of people that haven't taken it. Rich, I know Rich is here. Do you have any idea how many were licensed in 2020? First timers?
No, I don't have. We'll have to figure out a way to run a report. Probably be 1,000 people.
You think about 1,000 people? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's assume that for a moment. Okay. So we still got 1,700 people that possibly need continued education. So, and that's for the 2020 year. So question for the board is, do we want to extend or request that the commissioner ask the governor for an executive order to extend both the online and the in-person classroom, or either one of them, to extend that through the end of this new executive order, which is April 20th. Let's just, so I want to try to deal with one at a time, the 2020 and then the 2021. Okay. Comments by anybody? Thoughts?
Larry, Rich Bird.
Yes.
I think I would be in favor of extending the 2020 Connecticut continuing education for both in person and online till April 20th,
Okay.
as per the governor's extension of his executive order.
Yeah, actually, the emergency. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, the emergency. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have comments on that? Is that, yeah, Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with Rich based on the numbers that we have completed to date and the numbers that still need to. It's about what, a 6-month extension from September,
Right.
so I think that's timely.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would concur with both of them, Larry. Peter Jennings.
Yeah.
I agree. I think 6 months is a, given everything that's going on, I think it's a timely.
Okay.
I'm okay with it. I think it makes sense with what everyone is saying.
Okay, Jackie, thank you. So we are really in agreement with that. So, Rich, you want to put that in form of a motion then? And then we can see if we need to address any specific language in that for the department.
Very good, Mr. Chair. I would propose, I'd like to make a motion that the 2020 Connecticut continuing education be extended per the governor's emergency declaration until April 20th of 2021, both in person and online.
Okay. There's a second to that?
Paul Costello, I'll second.
Oh, okay. Any discussion? Okay. I'm going to ask the commissioner if she has any input to that. Any thoughts?
No, I think that's good. It sounds effectively like you want, it's right now 9 a.m., but the current executive order, kind of all parts of that to move up to April when the emergency ends. And so, we're happy to pass on that recommendation. Just remind everybody nothing's official until the new executive order is issued, but I would expect that to happen, certainly sometime between now and February 9th, since this is just one of a number that the governor's office would need to evaluate and possibly extend.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, so all in favor of that motion to extend till April 20th, 2021 for both online and in-person continued education for the 2020 renewal year, indicate by saying aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Okay, so the motion carries on the 2020 continued ed. Now, in regard to the 2021, which is currently in effect, the 2021 continued education currently would run till September of 21. Okay. The variable we have there is that it would definitely run relative to in-person. There's no online component to that for this year. So I would entertain a motion, if everybody's in agreement with it, that the 2021 renewal year continued education, that both in-person or that in addition online, virtual online, be extended to the September 31st deadline.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment?
Sure, absolutely.
I do believe that the 2021 Connecticut Continuing Education, due to the pandemic, I see both the in-person and online. The current situation we're in right now, due to the number of participants we can have in a class being limited, I would like to make the recommendation that we do entertain the online as well until September 30th. This might allow us not to be able to have to extend the September 30th date and still be able to get all of the licensees that need to continue in education complete by September 30th.
Okay. I think that's makes sense. Comments by anybody, other board members? Okay. I see Leslie's online. Just got a question for Leslie in actually requesting this executive order or the commissioner, obviously. Since in-person is something that already exists, do we only have to request the executive order to allow for virtual online for the 21 until September 30th?
Yeah, I think as a practical matter, you just need to be prepared. They would probably, I definitely think you want to allow online for this year. Otherwise, you're just going to hit the same problem that not everybody can do it. As a practical matter, just, the governor's ability to waive laws and regulations kind of match up with the state of emergency. So it may be that they don't feel like they can waive the regulation for that far out beyond when the declared emergency ends. So I think it's good that you guys have thought about it, because as the emergency or as the legislature acts, at least you've already given thought to this. But I think be prepared for what may happen is sort of the entirety of 9M will just get extended out to the new kind of declared emergency deadline date. But certainly, Rich is here, and classes, if we aren't already, we could be approving the 2021 curriculum. So those courses can also be happening online in the interim.
Mhm.
I don't know if Leslie wants to add anything.
No, that makes sense. And sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself or turn on my video. So
Come on.
How long have we been doing this?
I know. And I've had a lot of coffee today, so there's no excuse really.
Okay, so I guess what you're saying, Commissioner, is that it may come back where it only extends it till April 20th from the as an executive order for online.
Yeah, I think people should just be prepared, and it's not that the recommendation wasn't taken seriously, just you're trying to be sensitive, especially with the legislature in session, as to how much they use that power to waive laws and regulations unilaterally. So obviously you can recommend whichever. I just don't want, when it comes back as just an through the emergency, for you to take that as meaning anything. Then they're be trying to be limited in their kind of special powers during an emergency.
Okay, so we can make that overall recommendation and be prepared that it may be adjusted back to April 20th. All right.
Exactly.
So somebody, that should have been a 2 thumbs up, Leslie, but I know you had the coffee cup. Anybody, somebody want to make that motion?
Sure, Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to extend or to request that the 2021 Connecticut Continuing Education be extended online till September 30th, 2021, with the understanding that it may only run until the end of the emergency declaration of April 20th, 2021.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Peter Jennings, I'll second that.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Any further discussion? See a lot of nodding. Okay, all in favor? Indicate by raising your hand.
Aye.
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 Opposed? No opposition. The motion carries. Thank you, Rich, for those motions. Okay, with that, again, I just want to make that reminder that the governor, excuse me, I already got Michelle as governor, so that the commissioner remind you us all that, ultimately it's up to the governor's office to change the executive order. So ours is a recommendation to the commissioner, and the commissioner will make a request to the governor's office, and nothing will be final until we see what comes out of the governor's office. Either is a favorable executive order or a denial, which I would hope not to be the case. So, all right, that's all we have for business for today.
So Larry,
Yes, Herbert.
you have one attendee. I don't know, that person wants to make any comments or concerns or just to make you aware of it.
Who is that?
Isabella Schroeder, and I can let her speak if you wanted to ask her if she's attending or if she has any comments, or can we
Okay.
do that?
Yeah, who's that again, Karen? Oh,
The
is
name that's coming up is Isabella Schroeder. Can you hear us?
She's in a chat saying she can hear you and she has no comments.
Oh, she says I have, yeah. Okay, could Isabel represent who she's representing? Robinson & Cole, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let the record show that Isabel Schroeder did put in the chat and that she's part of Robinson Cole and she has no comments.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Isabel, for your comment. I have no comment. All right, so
Excuse me, can I just verify that the second motion that you made? Is the wording continued education both in person and online, or is it just online?
I would think for clarification and for clarity that it be both in person and online.
Okay, and you had said it that way, but when the motion was made, I think he just said online and didn't directly say both in person. So maybe it's implied, but I'll put both person and online.
I think that just helps clarify it, even though
Just wanted to make sure.
in person exists already through the law.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I think that was, my intent was to do that. I just assumed that the in-person was already statute till April 30, or I'm sorry, September 30th.
Right, okay.
Okay, all right, very good. Well, there being no other business for the special meeting, make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Okay. The meeting is hereby adjourned at looks like 1:22. Commissioner, thank you for attending. Leslie,